What's up YouTube, it's Team Top Deck for Game, and today I'll just be doing my Fire King deck profile as you would have seen in the video yesterday. It is my own personal skill drain build as I feel that it kind of really hurts the meta in a lot of ways, and yeah, I decided the skill drain over the Wolf, Bark, Bear, Fire Dog sort of build just because it kind of wrecks Fire Fist and Yugioh and all that kind of stuff, so yeah. Two Barbaros, basically, because you play skill drain in the deck, it's very, very powerful, especially with cards like Lance and Horn and Orichalcos and stuff like that. You play one Blaster, just ditch to pop a card, banish 2 to special, stuff like that, especially if you have skill drain on the field, 3/2/8 beater. You play 3 Barong. Basically, it's 3 more of this card right here. Searches any Fire King card, searches your Onslaughts, your Circles, your Yakshas, your Garunics if you have Yaksha already in hand. Anything like that, the card's just too good not to play at 3. 3 Yaksha. When he's destroyed and sent to the grave, I can destroy a card in my hand that I control. So I can destroy things like Barong and Garunix, and Garunix comes back next standby, and Barong's effect activates in the standby as well. 2 Circle. Bump this down from 2 to fit space for other cards like the 3rd skill drain and stuff like that. This card is extremely good, but it is searchable by Barong, so it's good enough at 2. 3 Tanky. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, there is only the 6 targets, but the 6 targets is definitely enough to play the Tanky. The Tanky's extremely, extremely good. Searches any of these 6 up here, which is like pretty much the most important cards in the deck. 2 Lance, just to stop your Garunix from getting banished, and cards like D-Prison, some cards that are starting to see a little bit more play in the meta. And also, if you have a skill drain face up on the field and you really do need to blow up the field, Chain Lance to your Garunix coming back unaffected by skill drain blows up the field, and then skill drain takes effect back again on all your opponent's monsters, which is nice. 3 Space, it's pretty staple this format. Just playing, just getting rid of tankies, hitting back rows, especially for this deck. Like macro kind of wrecks the deck, unfortunately, which is why I do side a card to stop those kind of things, but 3 Space is pretty necessary. 3 Onslaught, basically, in my opinion, the best card in the deck. Special summon any Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast from your deck to destroy during the end phase. But obviously, as with most cards, when they're destroyed, if their effect activating grave, its effects negated thing does not happen. So you bring out a Barong, search next standby, bring out a Yaksha, destroy Garunix in hand, to bring out Garunix, comes back next standby, blows up the field. This card's just way, way, way too broken to be a card, and I think it needs to get hit, personally, on the ban list, but until that time, I'll be playing this deck because this card is just way, way, way too good. 3 Duality, as most of the special summoning happens in your opponent's turn. Like, for example, most of the time you'll just be summoning one of these 6 up here and passing your turn during your own turn, or even Beast King Barbaros. So it's not too bad to be playing the 3 Duality. It can kind of stuff up your Onslaughts, but for example, you can play the Onslaughts, bring out the Grunix, set the Dualities as bait and use them next turn if they don't hit them with an MST. 2 Rekindling, because I do only play the 6 targets. I would like to play a 3rd Rekindling, but I'm just kind of liking this build at the moment. Like, there's nothing I really want to take out. There's nothing I really want to switch with the deck. So, 2 Rekindling's fine. Like, obviously, it is good at 3, but I'm not playing Fire Dogs or any other targets for Rekindling, so 2's fine. 1 Seal, as this is the skill drain build, so a 32 Garunix or a 35 Barbaros is basically GG. This card, if you open it first turn with at least like 1 or 2 monsters, you can pretty much just play the beat game from there on out. Like, this card's just ridiculous in the way it works. And especially since these 6 are the same attack, like if you have 2 of them on the field, and you haven't like horned one of them or anything, your opponent cannot actually declare an attack on them. It's kind of like a lockdown, because technically they both have the lowest attack on your side of the field. and your opponent cannot target the monster with the lowest attack on your side of the field. So it's very, very good. Bottomless is obviously pretty staple. You pretty much put it with this. Bottomless just hits bear, wolf barks, makes Mermals pretty much go neg 1 off, like straight off the bat, which is nice. Because they'd have to ditch 2 for a Megalo and then use Bottomless the Megalo, and they get like a search, but like they pretty much have to go neg off that. 3 skill drain, as I said, this is the skill drain build. This card's just ridiculous, this format. It hurts your, because 2 of our worst matchups are Evil Swarms and Fire Fist. Evil Swarms and Spellbooks. And these 2 cards alone pretty much just wreck that deck, or like wreck those decks altogether. Like, it doesn't hurt Spellbooks amazingly much because they can still go off down their Temperance plays. But I think personally we're still in a good position against the Spellbook deck, since they can't search Blue Boys and stuff like that, and just the fact that if they can't search, if they can't use their Blue Boy, then they have to summon Blue Boy, and you can like just bait out. You have to like bait out the Fate with like a Barong or a Yaksha, and then just Onslaught main phase 2, get rid of their Spellcaster, and it's kind of game from there. Warning is quite obvious. It's like the best card in this format. Stops cards that can hurt you, like Silent Honor and Crazy Box and stuff like that if they have a skill drain up. Obviously I don't want to have to Solemn Warning a Crazy Box, but I have done it in the past and it has won me a game. Torrential, it's like the best card in this whole deck. Like, there's kind of no reason not to play it. Torrential is, Torrential, like, it's just one of the best cards. Compulse is, good just for random stuff, like bounce back bears or something like that. I mean, bears aren't a problem to this deck, but like bounce back random cards that can be a problem, like a Pleiades or a Sharknado or something like that. And my own tech card, 2 Horn of the Phantom Beast. This is basically just, this is pretty much kind of like one of the best cards in the whole deck, because it's these 8 cards here. It makes them a 26 beater, makes him a 27 or 38 beater. Like, it's just really too good, and like, destroying a monster per battle makes them go neg 1. Then you have to draw a card, so you go +1. And then you get like the 800 attack boost, which is kind of like a plus anyway, so that's another +1. So it's kind of like going +3, or like, it's pretty much +2, but it's like going +2 off a card, which is just ridiculous when you think about it. Like, Pot of Greed was a +1, and that got banned. Like, that was one of the first cards in the game to get banned. So think about it that way. This card's way too good not to play. And I don't know how this happened, but Dark Hole's in here as well. I don't know what I was playing instead of it. I think I played 2 Duality, but I mean 2-3 Duality doesn't make too much of a difference. It's kind of just like one of those things. It doesn't really like hurt too much, because like sometimes sometimes it can get cloggy with the Onslaughts. So yeah, but and then Dark Hole's like one of the best cards in this deck too. You summon a Barong, Dark Hole, pop off their field, next turn get a search for Barong, search like a circle, and then your turn you can set the circle, summon a Yaksha off a Barong, just like destroy your Onyx in hand. Like, you can do some really sick plays with the deck. And yeah, that's it for the main deck. Onto side, 2 Blackhorn. This is just for stuff like Shark Knight, and especially for decks like Constella's Naval Swarms, hit that Pleiades, hit that Ophion, stuff like that. 1 Dust Tornado, just because I do main the 3 spell and trap removal, and I just wanted to have the 4th in case I verse a deck, that does kind of side spells and traps that really hurt. 3 Iron Wall. This is for random decks, like I can side it against dragons and stuff like that, but it is mainly in the side for decks that don't need to, really like need to banish that often. Like, they can use macro and stuff, because macro does really hurt this deck, so I can side Iron Walls to protect the macro that someone might be siding in. 3 Light Imprisoning is just for Boojins, Constellas, Hieratics, all those kind of decks that kind of hurt. Overworked is really good in this deck because you can have like a Barong with a Tenki on field and like they summon a bear and a wolf bark. So like you activate Overworked, pop their two monsters, pop your Barong, get a search for Barong. Like it doesn't really matter if your monsters get popped because they're all gonna have effects anyway. 3 Shadow Imprisoning, which is just for Evil Swarms, just some random decks that could really hurt. Technically I can cite it into Dark Worlds too because Dark Worlds can be a little bit of a problem because a 3k Grapher is quite hard to get over and they don't care about this card. So pretty much those 3 get sided out for these 3. And you know, it's kind of easy side outs. 1 Sacred Phoenix is just for decks that play heavy back row just because I can onslaught into a Phoenix and it will come back during my next standby phase, blow up all the spells and traps, then just kind of go off from there. Like it's pretty much they have to warning it or Fiendish chain it. Which is really nice. It's like just a good card to have in the side. 1 Dweller is basically for Mermails, Boojins, anything, Mirror Match, just anything I can use it against. It's always a good card to have. 2 Tiger King, you know, set a Tenki, activate Tenki, kind of stuff like that. Negate the effects of monsters, attack over the monster. Kagetsuchi is really good because you can mill your Garunixes and you can mill like your Barongs and Yakshas for your circle plays, which is kind of okay, and for kindling as well. Plus it's just a 25 mace stroke, which is good in general. 2 Direwolf, for example, you know, target your opponent's back row, target Barong. They get destroyed at the same time. So like you can target, like say you can target a macro and a Barong, and then the macro gets destroyed, so the Barong will go to grave, then you get Barong's effect next standby phase, really good. Felgrand, rank 8, you shouldn't make them too often, but you could have them there. Exciton Knights, I'm not even going to explain that card, it's just ridiculous in this deck. Cowboy, detach for 800, attack, you know, for 3k. Mace Stroke, just in case this guy is not really an option. I mean, it never really should be, but Mace Stroke's good for flippy effects. Sorry, flip them face down. Silent on an arc, steal monsters, steal problem monsters, Pleiades, make them use their Pleiades onslaught. Just stuff like that. Really good card. Touch on Dragon, kind of just a very weird thing, but you can get some sick damage in with this card, so it's a good card to have. Utopia, just why not? It's Utopia, negate attacks, protect yourself. Crazy Box, which I might bump up to 2 and take out this card, just because of the 3 skill drain in the main. 3k beat is never bad. And Utopia Ray, just in case you get to that point where you are under 1,000 and you can make it. But that was kind of just a thing. This would probably go out for like a second or Silent Honor or maybe another Crazy Box, but you know, that's good enough as it is. I'm liking the deck. Anyway, that's it for the whole deck profile. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you watch the video we uploaded yesterday, as it does put this deck into practice without a Dark Hole, which is very weird, but the Dark Hole's in there now, so you guys don't need to worry about that. But if you enjoyed, like I said, make sure you hit this like and subscribe button, and I'll be out. Peace.